Hello there, Schwermetallisch here. Today I'm going to interview Luca of a band Across the Swan, an Italian death metal band. And right after that interview, I will show you their new lyric video. Their new LP will be out on the 4th of September, so watch it and yeah, check it out.
I mean, in the closer, I mean, in Germany, parts of Germany, you know that in Italy they went there to work. So I know a bit, and we also played shows there, but a lot of time ago, as I was telling you in the interview. So yeah, it's nice, nice.
So once again, um, yeah, we had the question, um, why are Italian musicians doing death metal? Um,
Yeah, well, that's a good question. Well, actually, death metal in Italy is not really the a strong subgenre of metal. It's really, one of the most underground, musics that are played here. And actually, in the past, we had some bands, but really, really few because, one of the first ones was Undertaker's Electrocution. We had some bands that really, really kicked some stuff in the 90s, the 80s, someone in the 80s, some in the 90s. And actually, we had a very good grindcore scene and but as far as death metal goes, we are starting right now to have some very good bands, like Out of Penance, Hideous Divinity, Flesh God Apocalypse, very very kind of blasting death metal like hate like hate eternal stuff, really like blast beats, and very very aggressive guitars. And we are actually there's some kind of scene, but it's more like in the center of Italy, like Rome. And in Bologna, we have some very good bands like Electrocution and Nero di Marte, which are more like post metal. They're very good. And for what concerns us, we started playing death metal back in 2002, and we had this band named Lacerator, and we used to play a lot of stuff, a lot of shows, but we were more in the grindcore scene, not really in the death metal one. We had this really tongue-in-cheek attitude, very funny. We used to play a lot of lives. We didn't care much about songwriting. We just had one EP, and then we just went playing live. We really played a lot of shows with we organized. It was in a time where internet wasn't really this big phenomenon. There wasn't Facebook. There wasn't Facebook was really starting right now. There wasn't this whole network. You couldn't be with the internet. You still had to put flyers on the walls. And stuff like that. And from that lineup, me and Marco, the other guitar player, are the only one who remain. And yeah, so we started playing it because we all started playing instruments. We really were into other genres. For example, I was into more power metal stuff, and I used to play in a gothic band, and then we started to get more interested in the genre, because it really was there was the explosion of the Swedish death metal and all these new artists that came up, and we really got interested in it. And then from there we took an interest into the more brutal side, of death metal, like Suffocation, like Fetus, and Cannibal Corpse. So playing guitar and playing other instruments, we got interested in the genre because it really gives you a lot of freedom in composing and songwriting. And also we started to get we kept playing that and trying to songwrite some stuff, and we started to do it, and we never stopped. We're still doing it even since it passed like 10 13 years. And yeah, we in Italy there was a scene and was really really getting out. Then the COVID interrupted some things, it interrupted almost everything. And then we're gonna see if there will be still continuing. In Italy, it's very hard to put up a metal scene because really metal in Italy is not really considered, and rock and metal, it's really, really hard music to get out with, So metal bands are struggling. We don't have much, support. So it's really hard for us to, for death metal bands to to get them known, to people. And so, but still, I think in the future we will be developing a better, bands, maybe the new generations. So,
But hey, I can assure you, there's in the metal archives, there's an article about Lacerator, one
mhm.
about Lacerate, one about Across the Swarm.
Yeah,
So people can find you, people can find the members. So
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not that deep in the underground. Um, there are lots of bands that don't even have a entry in that on that page, and
Yeah, yeah. That's
you're right.
true.
If you can find nothing, just nothing about a band, you don't know how the people are named. You don't know who is the singer, or they have two guitarists or three guitarists, and you don't know who of them is playing lead.
Yeah,
It's making it awful to write a review.
yeah, of course.
Uh, with you, it's like it's everything is there. That's great.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Um, yeah, the meaning of the band name.
Hmm.
That was something that was puzzling me. Why are you named Across the Swarm?
All right. Well, it is connected to insects because when we were playing as Lacerator, we used the insects for flyers and also the booklet of the EP we did. There were worms on it, real worms. We had a photographer who really put the worms together and make photos. It was really nice. And we still use the insects, for the flyers, and we were fascinated by by the use of insects. We also had ideas like, okay, guys, let's put an intro with the flies buzzing, and stuff. We were trying to experiment. And then when we changed the lineup and we changed the sound, we kind of passed from a songwriting, a more direct songwriting, to something more complex. Like, okay, we started to add more influences. It wasn't just death metal. Then we started to put like some dead jant influences like Meshuggah and some diminished chords in it. Then we started to build on a new sound, which kind of you can say is more technical or maybe modern. And then we found ourselves like, okay, guys, it's really hard to go and make this music with this old name because Lacerator is a very old school name, and like we had this logo with blood dropping, really it was really really death metal and old school. So we decided to change the band name even because we had new members which weren't part of Lacerator, and then also we had a hiatus period where we stopped completely, and then we got back on the scene after 2 or 3 years. So we decided that the whole name wasn't going to do it for us anymore, and we wanted to have something that insects in the name, but we didn't know how to do it. So we thought, okay, guys, what's a menacing thing? What's a nice name to define a group of insects? And then we came up with swarm, which we really like as a term. And then we had the idea that you have to pass our music is like a swarm of insects that passes you through and leaves you uh, devastated. So we really have this idea of our sound that to be aggressive, and it's like a buzzing, droning sound that doesn't leave you, it gets you and it swarms you everywhere, and insects getting into you, and and doing all sorts of things. So we like this the sound of the name, of course, and we kept look at this. If you see when you see the new album cover, the album is going to be out in September 4th via Time to Kill Records. We used worms, and insects and stuff. So we really like the concept. Of course, um, that's the true meaning behind the name. It's like of our personal taste. It sounds good, and it represents our kind of connects to the older band. It's like the insects is like a bridge of connection. Okay, we have changed names, but we're still kind of interested in the same stuff, even kind of changed name and sound.
So that's that. Okay. Um. Yeah. We had. Yeah. You mentioned COVID, the fucking Corona,
Yeah.
and the struggling of bands and musicians alike. Um. How did it affect the band?
Oh well, yeah, it affected us. If you see, we're not professionals, of course. We're hobby. Music is a passion, so we don't make money out of it. So economically, it didn't really really not affect us. But actually, the COVID really got us blocked for a while because we had to issue the CD. The CD was going out in the 10 April, and we organized some live shows to promote it, of course. And of course, the COVID kind of blocked everything. The CD was, postponed to the 4th of September, and luckily we were finally there. So, and we stopped. We couldn't rehearse, of course, and because we couldn't see each other, and we were all stressed like everyone because in Italy we had a very strict lockdown. We couldn't go out, just for buy something to eat and nothing else because we really had a very strict lockdown. So we just made reunions via Skype and just talk about, okay guys, what are we gonna do, what can we do, and we couldn't do much. Luckily we had a video clip done for the single projections, and we could put it out, so we kind of had some kind of things to show, some things to show to people who wanted to listen to our music. So we had to work on the web, like videos and Instagram photos and old material. We put up stuff in the recordings. How did we record the CD? All the stuff that you normally do when a CD is going to is going to get out. And then we got back and rehearsing like 2 months ago when the lockdown stopped. So we decided to go back to practice, and then we still don't know if we're going to be able to play live because we still don't know if shows are going to be allowed, how many people. And metal, it's not underground metal is still played in the small pubs, so where people get crowded, like 100 people, 50 people, very small crowds. So we still don't know if the Italian government, is going to allow, concerts, indoor concerts, indoor live events. For now, we decided to go on, and like maybe we are already writing new material because actually we told each other, okay, guys, what can we do? We cannot play live, but we can't stop either because the CD is out and we have to do something. So we're writing new material for a new CD that we don't know when we're going to record and stuff, but we're writing the song structures. That's what we're doing. And we're gonna put out some new video clips from some of the songs of the album. And then we don't know. Then as soon as we know that we can play live and we start to organize and maybe do some concerts. I don't know, in Italy, of course, and maybe we try to organize something in Europe as well. But until there's not really, we don't have a clue about how this is going to go, this COVID. We can't make big plans. The only thing we can do is songwrite and put out material from the old CD. That's the only thing we can do. So let's hope this thing ends up fast because we're kind of tired of it. Both for the music, both for mentally, it gets you stressed. You can't go anywhere. You have to watch out where you're seeing. You don't get in crowded places. Put the mask on and wash your hands. So we hope that we hope that everything's gonna be over soon, so we can get back to a normal life.
Yeah, it's the same here. You feel trapped all the time. You can go to work, but it's like the infamous Simpsons episode, 3 Hours of Horror, uh, where they have Homer as a father from The Shining.
Yeah.
We all go crazy.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel you. I'm very
You too. Yeah.
like. I'm getting emails, I'm getting music. That's not the problem. The problem is um, bands write music to play,
Yeah,
to play
yeah, yeah,
live. Not
absolutely,
write
absolutely.
to just write and record and sell
No,
it.
no.
Uh, that's not even the half of it.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, that's the last few concerts I have visited were super dope,
Mm.
and I wanted more. And
Yeah,
COVID says no,
yeah, no,
no.
no, no. It's frustrating. Yeah, it's very frustrating not be able to play live your music. It's very, very hard, but we have to hold on. That's the only thing we can do.
But I at the beginning in March, April, and May, it was like I partnered with a website
Hmm.
that does public relations, and yeah, I did very much review anything I could get my hands on to support bands. That there was a there was a good time, but it was a lot of work. I
Mm.
did that 3 months. It was really, but it felt good to help.
Yeah, yeah. It was nice, very nice of you. I mean, supporting the scene is always good.
I know I'm not a big help like if a big company would do that, but I also needed something to keep me
Yeah,
sane.
of course,
It's that
of course,
so
of
bad.
course.
That was cool. Um, I know you guys come from different musical backgrounds,
Mhm.
band-wise. So what is your favorite metal band, and what is the guilty pleasure?
Yeah. Well, personally, I love almost every kind of metal. I really, really like the genre. So I started listening to power metal, and then skipped to thrash, and then to death metal. I also listen to some black metal bands, and to progressive. I love it. And my favorite metal bands are not death metal bands. Like I love Voivod and Ice Earth, Queen's Reich, and there's a part of the death metal bands which I also love, which are Morbid Angel, Suffocation, Lying Fetus, Death, Cynic, all the Floridian scene with Obituary and all the great ones. And the other guys, they listen to death metal, of course, and the other guitarist Marco loves, like Fetus, Carcass, In Flames. You've also got about sound, and the bass player, which is the younger one, Mirko. He listens even to modern bands that we still don't know, maybe the more technical side of death metal, and the also we started listening to also the old school bands, and Francesco too is a big fan of death metal in general, and also he listens to progressive rock and stuff. So we have a lot of influences coming from various genres. If I have to say, each one of us has a guilty pleasures. Like we all listen to other music. Like I love blues and jazz music, and Marco loves electronic music, and
Oh, that's a guilty pleasure.
yeah, yeah. Mirko loves rap and crossover, and Francesco is really into something more relaxing, like progressive stuff. So we all have lots of influences. It's not like we are but of course we have the glue is the death metal. Of course, it's metal, and we all listen to. We try to put every influence we have. We try to put in our music. While structuring songs in a way that they don't sound like too dispersive, too chaotic. So we try to to write songs like, okay, guys, I have this idea, which maybe it's not really death metal sounding, but we make it sound extreme maybe, and if it fits, we use it. So we like to put stuff that it's not necessarily death metal into it. Of course, we have boundaries. It's not like we say, okay, guys, we can't put some orchestrations because it's not our stuff. But someone wants to bring a more groovy, catchy riff, like something like more crossover, like Korn, and we want to add it to a blast beat. We try to do it, and if it sounds good, we keep it because we really like the merging, of rhythms and sounds. So we try to do the best we can with the influences we have.
So, according to the new record that it comes out in 3 days,
Yes, yes. If there's
um,
if
the
nothing
best
happens,
thing.
yes.
What was the best thing and the worst thing recording that LP?
Okay, well, the best thing was actually recording it and writing it because we really had fun in writing that music. We really tried to to organize ourselves better because we had an old EP, a self-titled, which was very hard to record because we decided to put some drum and bass and electronic stuff in it. So it was very hard because the DJ that did the samples wasn't in the band, so we had to contact him before. So and then we had some problems in recording. So this time we said, okay, guys, let's do some more simple, so simpler stuff. And we started to songwriting with more structure, like, okay, guys, let's do no more than 5 or 6 riffs. Let's try to have a single BPM for all the song without changing it too much, so there's more groove. And we recorded at Domination Studios, which are one of the best recording studios for metal in Italy. And we had a lot of fun in it because it was very, very challenging too, because you really had to practice a lot before going to record, and everything was coming good together. And the other thing that we liked the most was the production of the CD, the mastering, the mixing that we did at Baltimore Studios, at Steve Wright Studios in Baltimore in the States. With the guy who produced Dying Fetus and Mr. Index, because we wanted to try a more American sound where the guitar and the bass are more clear, because sometimes the European productions are more are very powerful, but they are very everything is kind of glued together. We wanted to have the guitars. We really wanted the guitar and the bass to be heard. It's like, okay, guys, we want people to hear what we do. What are we playing? Because we really worked a lot on the guitar work and the bass, so we really want people to hear it. Also, the vocals were recorded in a very old school way. Our singer really wanted to put himself to it. It's very visceral. And well, the worst thing about the record, unfortunately, was recording the drums because we had to use a session player, and he wasn't close to Bologna, so we had to exchange tracks with him. And the songwriting of the drum was really hard. It's not anyone's fault, of course, because everybody did their job right, even the drummer. But it was very hard to put everything together. We lost a lot of time for it because we couldn't rehearse with him because he was in a highland near Italy called Sardinia. It was in Sardinia. So we didn't know how to reach each other. So we had to contact via Skype. We had to write in chat. So it was very hard. But luckily we were lucky because he had a studio in Sardinia where we could record his drums and send it to us. So we managed to do it, even if it was very hard. That was the worst thing I think about it, and because it really time consuming. So we'll try to
Sounds
do
like
that. Yeah. It was hard. It was the first time for us because we used to have a drummer, which is still a very good friend, and but he left the band for personal reason. So we couldn't find a new drummer because there are not very much death metal drummers in Italy, and the very good ones are already taken. So we had to get a session player, and we never worked with a session guy. So it was the first time for us. It was maybe because we were inexperienced, but it was pretty hard. So we could have, lost less time if we had a drummer. But anyway, now what's done is done, and he really did a very good job because he is a very good drummer. So we are happy with it anyway, even if it was very tiring.
yeah, that really sounds exhausting because I'm not a musician, but I think it's difficult to add drums into your musical setting without having the drummer at hand to
Yeah,
rehearse.
yeah.
Because I, um, I imagine a drummer and a guitarist think completely different according
Yeah.
to their own playing and their own music. and you have to think like a drummer would think to put the drums into your musical setting.
Yeah,
So that's yeah, I would really have to struggle
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
gather in my brain.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Of course, without the internet, it couldn't have been possible because we couldn't have seen him. Also, we couldn't have, gave him the midis of the guitars and stuff. So, in a way, it was a new experience, but something that we would like to avoid in the future, of course. Or maybe, if we had to repeat it, just to get a session guy that we can reach. It's like, okay, let's get together for a few days and we rehearse together. You get an idea of what we're doing, and you can um, you can play drums and give us an idea of what you want to do. But we can't reach you via internet, via Skype and via chats, it's really 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 hard. Anyway, so yeah, it was exhausting, but we managed to do it, so we're happy.
Yeah, editing is a beat. It's a bitch. I started to edit videos, and man, that is complicated. And if you record music, it's like you have. Did you ever see the recording of Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah, yeah, I did see it.
And there were so many different. I'm struggling for the English word. The German word is Tonspur.
Mhm. Fortunately, I don't
Uh,
know much German.
the audio track, the different audio track.
Yeah, yeah, of course, yeah, yeah. And also in the past, they didn't have computers, so I don't know how they did it. I mean, I saw the thing and I was like, oh God, that was very, very hard because right now you have a lot of technological stuff that helps you. It's also it's always hard. Even the studio producers are, I think they also they do a very good job. They did a very good job. And of course, when you don't have the technology to do it, I don't know how they did. Of course, professional bands, of course, they have more time to do it, because they get in the studio, they rehearse a lot. So when you have to produce something and be very quickly about it, because of course it costs, so you have to do it fast. Like play guitar, you have to do the guitar in 3 days, of course. So it's a different experience, but I think it's still interesting.
Yeah, I saw the whole thing, and when, if I remember right, there were like 120 tracks layered over each other, and it's that
Crazy.
is that is
That's crazy.
I cannot even, yeah, my mind is not able to comprehend
No,
how they
mix it all together. It's
stuff like that. It's
very hard.
crazy. It's genius.
Yeah, it's
Uh yeah. What is the single best thing when playing live for you as a band?
for us, the best thing, well, actually, we love to, get wrecked on stage. It's like we still have this kind of grindcore attitude that we brought from the other band, from Lacerator. And we used to play all the track lists in one breath. Like, okay, guys, we start and we finish. It's like no pauses, nothing. We were younger, of course, and we managed to do it. Right now, we still have this kind of attitude. We still did it with a pause in the middle, and but still, we really love to, go down there and get practice. Like at the end of the concert, we were like dripping sweat, and we were like destroyed. Like we ran, 100 miles, and that's what we like the most. And we really get absorbed in the music, in the punk, the blast beat, and the vocals, the guitars. So sometimes we don't even realize when a song is over. I mean, okay, it's over because we know it's over because we rehearsed. But at the end of the live, we're still like, okay, what happened? We play, we did good. We don't know because we really into it. And of course, that's the attitude of the band. But of course, we don't know if this is gonna change in the future, or maybe do something more structured, like we did with the song with the album. We still have to try it because we were not able to play live because for the COVID. So we don't know if we're gonna change something into have a more compact live show since we're playing some different music now. And also in the past, we adapted to the grindcore scene, which was very fast, and so we decided to do the same. Our old drummer came from the metalcore and hardcore scene, so he was very, very, energetic guy. So we try to, to organize, the live in a way that everything was very fast. And but we still like to do it, and that's the best part, of course, and we really love it. And of course, when the show is over, it's good when people come and say, "Okay, you did good. We really liked you." You people will never listen to the band, and that's good. That's a good feeling. That's a good sensation, and which is I think the best part. And then of course when we play with other bands, we like to chill with them, drink beer, and talk and have some laughs, and then because death metal gives you the adrenaline rush, so when the concert, when you stop playing, when your track list is over, it's almost like you relax, you just okay, well, I'm wrecked, I'm destroyed, I'm gonna have a beer, that's also good, We really love to play live because that's what we did in the past. We really, really played a lot of shows, and even underground shows, of course. That's what we love the most, and we will try to get back on it, to get back on the horse. But as long as as long as there's the COVID, we can't try the new things we had in mind. So we still have to wait, and we'll wait and see. We can do new stuff, maybe structure the live in a way that is really not that wrecking for us because we're getting older. So we're going to do something that doesn't end up bad for us. Nobody gets injured.
Yeah, it sounds like you really dig playing live.
Yeah, we love it.
That's always great. Um, yeah, we had the question about the yeah the kind of music you play, and yeah, what makes me wonder is most stuff that comes out of Italy is rather theatrical, and sometimes the melodic metal bands are a bit pompous, like in the vein of Nightwish or something like that. And you have really many power metal bands and everything like that. Um, how big is the scene for those bands? Is we in Germany, for example, think if you think about Italy, we think okay, power metal, Italian power metal. And
Yeah, yeah, of course.
scene is big, and maybe the power metal bands earn good money and the likes. Is this really the case? Are there really bands in Italy earning big money, and is there the underground with death metal bands and the stuff, or
Ah,
is it not so big at all?
well, it depends. I mean, it's very hard in Italy to make money from music, which is not actually famous in TV, because we really, really are still in Italy. We still have a very, very musical culture which comes from the 60s and the 50s, and it's like we really, in Italy, uh, we really give too much importance to singers. We are the country of singers. Single voices. It's stuff like that. So it's very, very hard to make big money with metal. I mean, it's hard to make money with metal in general in Italy. But there are some bands that did it, like Rhapsody. Rhapsody was one of the bands. I think you maybe know them. It was one of the greatest metal acts. And Lacuna Coil made a good career out of metal. And also right now we have Flash God Apocalypse, which is a death metal act. But they are all these orchestrations. We played with them in Riga and Tallinn for a show, and they're spectacular. They play live, they dress up, like Renaissance, like Renaissance zombies. They're so cool, and they have all this, very theatrical, way of presenting themselves, and they're very, very good. As for the theatrics in metal, yeah, I think that melodic metal and power metal, it's gives you more the gives you more options to present yourself live, maybe dressing up or putting some, atmosphere because it's more melodic. And also black metal, can paint and stuff, face painting and stuff. Death metal is, I think it's more like it's really hard to put theatrics in death metal because, it's not really epic music. It's more like grounded, it's like, okay, I'm talking about, my feelings, my rage, and social injustice and stuff like that. And it's also very, gory and horror stuff, but in a way, very, very not really. You can't go and dress up like a monster because it would be, it wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good. So actually, yeah, the triadics in death metal are not really used. So you see, when we go play live, we play like this in shirt, t-shirt, and jeans. And yeah, I think that of course Italy has a knack for theatrics. We love theater and theatrics. So I think that the metal genres that allow you to do it are the stronger ones here. Because also we are used to melodic music in Italy, and death metal is really really aggressive. So we're coming out of the scene, as I was telling you, it's a bit growing, slowly growing. Sometimes it grows, sometimes it goes back underground, other times it grows. But actually, if you're a power metal band in Italy, of course, you may have more luck than death metal bands, and of course, you still have to be very good because power metal is very technical music. You have to be precise, to have a lot of instruments, as you were saying, the recordings with the keyboards and stuff is very hard. So you still have to be very, very good, even more than playing, other genres. But you see, not every band in Italy, every power metal band makes big money out of it. You really have to be very, very good. And of course, since if you want to do it as a job, you really have to put a lot on the line. And because of course it's not really a safe job, it's pretty risky because of course if it doesn't go well, you have to go back home and find another job. So people don't want to take risks, and because Italy is not really, it's not a country where it's easy to find job right now, and even past even in the period before the COVID, it wasn't easy. After the COVID, it will be harder. So people try to play it safe, and the ones who really want to make it out of music, they really have to put a lot on it. And then of course you have to have all the member in the bands should agree to it. Okay, like, okay guys, I want to make money with this band. Do you agree? Oh no, I can't. I have a job, or I have a wife, I have a family. And so it's hard. So when you hear about power metal in Italy, of course it's still big, still big hard rock, power metal, but not everyone is on the same level because you have to see that in Italy we don't have a scene. It's not like the power metal bands here have festivals and stuff where they can play. It's not like that. they go to abroad to play, and sometimes they play some gigs in Italy, but most of the time, if they want to have good reception and a good audience, they go abroad. So that's the point. It's not like, okay, we death metal bands are here and they're here. No, in Italy we're all here, and someone, if they can go abroad, they make it. They start to grow, but they have to do a lot of concerts. So that's it. So metal in Italy is still not really, a reality, and right now it's even worse. In the past, maybe it was, there was some chances, but right now in Italy, we love the most commercial music is trap music, and because young people love it, so they really try to invest in that, which is complete another world. It's not like, okay, they like rock, so there may be some space for metal. No, trap music is, it's really another thing. So you can just hope that we don't know in the future. Maybe you don't know if maybe the young people will get interested in metal, but we'll see. For now, it's still a lot of underground. So that's how it goes.
Okay. Yeah, there was a lot of information from across the swarm and from you, Luca. Um, so I have no more questions, and I thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, absolutely.
And I will, yeah, get this posted really fast. I
Okay,
hope.
no problem. Take your time. It's no problem. Okay, so thank you again, and we hope to see you soon, and let us know. And also good luck with everything, with the job, with the blog, and let's hope that COVID you gets out of the way fast. So maybe we can come in Germany and play, and maybe you can come and we can have a beer
Yes,
together.
sure.
Okay.
Good luck with your record.
Thank.
I will share this around.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye.